What most companies do when a bale of tobacco arrives at their factory is strip the tobacco. Once you strip the tobacco, you have to use all the tobacco for any blend in a particular cigar. We have a great long-standing relationship with one of the greatest growers of Cuban seed tobacco in the world, the Plasencia family. The Plasencia family for generations has been growing tobacco in Nicaragua, in Honduras, Costa Rica, and many parts of Central America. As a result of this, we have tobaccos, Ecuador tobacco, Sumatra seed, Ecuador tobacco, Connecticut seed, Costa Rican tobacco, Habano seed, Costa Rican tobacco, Mexican seed, Nicaraguan tobacco from Jalapa, from Esteli, Honduran tobacco from Jamastran, Olancho, St. Augustine, and Talanga. We have African Cameroon tobacco. We have tobacco Dominican Alor, Dominican Peloto. We have tobaccos from Peru, from Colombia, from Panama, and many other parts of the world. Due to this special relationship, we can specifically pick the selected special tobaccos that go into the Rocky Patel premium cigars. We sort that tobacco, and then we strip only that particular tobacco that are going to be required for our specific blends. We are not forced to use all the tobacco for our blends, and it is very important because we are stripping only the selected special leaves that are going to be used on our great cigars. This is one of our many sorting departments. In this particular department, all the wrapper that's going to go on the production floor is getting ready to be cured. In order to make a perfect cigar, the wrapper has to be supple. If it's too dry, it's going to break and disintegrate. So here, they're applying the moisture to the wrapper. They're also sorting the wrapper for color because we have a very strict standard for each blend, for each brand of cigar. So it's not too light, it's not too dark. For example, it's a natural product. Maduros can be really dark, they can be lighter. If you don't get great wrapper and you don't have great sorting here, you're gonna have problems in manufacturing down the line, and you're gonna get assorted colors, wrong sizes, spots on the cigar. So this is very important. It's a lot of work. This is what we're doing here right now to guarantee the aesthetic beauty of a perfect cigar. It's a little thin, needs a little more. Look at this wonderful leaf. It's just been conditioned. They've got the right amount of moisture added to it, so it's supple and easy to work with. It takes years and years of natural fermentation to get a beautiful Maduro wrapper like this. Because the Maduro wrapper comes from the top part of the tobacco plant. You use the heaviest leaf and you put it through extra fermentation till the sugars crystallize and they come to the top. Absolutely gorgeous. Nice and oily, beautiful, probably end up on the edge or the Old World Reserve. Enjoy. Welcome to the Salon Parlor of Rocky Patel Premium Cigars. When you come into this room, you want to make sure that you absolutely have the best materials for the bunchers and rollers to work in. Because if you don't have great tobacco, well, you're not going to come out with great cigars. So we make sure that the materials coming into this room are absolutely perfect, perfectly fermented, and of top grade quality. So once we're here, we're surrounded in this floor by about 240 teams. They work in teams. One person is a buncher. The second person actually puts the wrapper on the cigar. The buncher is very, very important in the construction of a great cigar. He literally has to take each leaf, place it in his hand, and fold it in an accordion fashion, much like this. And the leaves will go one on top of the other. And you really have to slow down and create this bunch in your hand. And you can see it creates air passages through the cigar, so the cigar can breathe properly. You want to make sure you have plenty of tobacco so there are not soft spots. The cigar feels firm and solid in your hand. At the same time, it should drop beautifully and burn beautifully. So this is a very key and important element of the construction of a cigar. They're trained. They usually make the same type of cigar with the same size because they can feel the tobaccos in their hand. They create that raw bunch in their hand. We make sure that we limit our bunchers to only making 200 to 250 cigars a day. Because if they rush through this process, you'll get cigars that are booked, cigars that you can't draw on, cigars that will burn unevenly, and cigars that might run on you. Once that raw bunch is created, then it will be placed into one of these molds. The cigar goes into the press. The press is between two people, and every 15 minutes they'll give the cigar a quarter turn, like so, and repress it till it's perfect. Once you get a nice firm cigar, then the cigars will be taken over to the draw test machine. Every single cigar we make is tested for draw. What happens with the draw test machine, there's a vacuum that pulls on the top end of the cigar and actually measures the amount of air flowing through the cigar. If the cigar is too loose or if the cigar is too tight, we won't allow the wrapper to be put on the cigar. The cigar will be rejected. This way it guarantees a perfect draw for every cigar. A great torcedor has years of skilled experience in rolling a perfect cigar. They are equally as important as the buncher to make sure you have a beautifully finished cigar. The wrapper should be rolled nice and firm on the cigar. The caps should be beautifully and evenly rolled. On the case of a regular round cigar, the cap should be evenly distributed, the heads beautifully finished. In the case of a torpedo, they should be finished to a nice point, clean and elegant. Every cigar should be consistent in its aesthetic look, finish, touch, and feel. Only years of great training and experience bring a beautiful cigar to life. See, this is masterfully created. Look at this perfect torpedo. Nice, firm wrapper, beautiful sheen on it. Nice, even finish. You can't see where the cap ends on it. It's firm, it's perfect. Tobacco is evenly distributed through the cigar. No soft spots. Looks elegant. Can't wait to cut and light it. Once all 50 cigars have been finished, bunched, and rolled, these beautiful cigars will now be inspected by a specific supervisor. They will touch and feel each cigar to make sure that the caps are perfect, the heads look beautiful, the tobacco is distributed evenly through the center of the cigar, and finally, all 50 cigars will be weighed on a scale, and they should fall within 3 to 5 grams of each other to ensure that the right amount of tobacco is placed within the cigars. Now, these cigars will be sent to the quality control room where I will meet you next for final inspection. Welcome to our quality control room. The cigars that you saw being rolled in the salon parlor will come here for final inspection. In this room, every single cigar will be rechecked thoroughly. We're looking to ensure the tobacco is laid evenly throughout the cigar. Each cigar will be felt to make sure there are no soft spots in the cigar. They'll make sure the caps are perfect on the cigar. And finally, the ring gauge and diameter of each cigar will be checked. If for any reason they find a problem of any sort in the construction of the cigar will be rejected and it will not be re-rolled. It will be used for short filler. In this room, we want to make sure that the construction of every single cigar made at this factory is absolutely perfect. The job is meticulous, it's tedious, takes a lot of time, but it guarantees good quality, consistent cigars.
These are specially designed racks that we've designed for the Maduro cigar. Maduro cigar retains a lot of water. We've designed these racks so that these cigars dry evenly. It protects the shape of the cigar. If we put them in our normal bundles, the weight of the cigar will make the shape of these cigars inconsistent. That's why we put them in these racks. They dry evenly, and you're always going to have a perfect cigar.
This is the aging room. I love the smell of this room. Smell of cigars, tobacco aging, cedar. It's nice and cool in here. We actually keep the cigars at about 65-degree temperature, 70% humidity, 4 to 6 months of aging. The Maduros take much longer because they retain some water, but this is where they're stored. The babies sleep here. And after 6 months, we pack them for your enjoyment. Welcome to our packaging department. This is a final stage where the cigars will be packed for your enjoyment. Every cigar that comes into the packaging department has to be perfect and flawless in construction, or it will not be received here. So what they're doing here, they're going to check the cigars to make sure the head is perfect, the cap's perfect, they're flawless, clean, and they fit within the narrow color standards that I've set. Those cigars that fit those standards will be allowed to be packed. Any cigar that's a little lighter or darker than the standard I've set will become a factory select. A cigar that is two-tone in color or may have some spots will become a second. Handmade cigars are a natural product. Hence, you get a lot of different gradations of color when it comes to cigars, especially the darker cigars or the Maduros. Here's a prime example. This is a standard I've set for a perfect cigar that would be packed in a box. This particular cigar, very clean, very flawless, but again, when you compare it, it's just a shade lighter. This will not be allowed to be packed and it will be factory select. It just doesn't fit our tight standard. It's not the same rich color that I'm seeking for this particular brand. So this cigar will be rejected. But you know, it's troubling because these are clean. If I were to take this color and pack them all in a box, nobody'd know. But I like that rich, decadent color. And hence, we have only about 45 to 50% of our cigars that are allowed to be packed. It's a lot of work to enjoy that great quality cigar. An often asked question is, why and how do you make a box press cigar? I personally love box press cigars because really what you're doing is you're taking a round cigar and then you're pressing it. They're very hard to make because you have to gauge the draw. Because now, cigar is being pressed, there's less air through the tobacco. So really what the cigar does, it delivers a rich concentrated flavor, but a really nice, cool smoke. When you're done with the box press cigar, they're gorgeous, look like little pieces of chocolate. Absolutely beautiful. But they start out round. They go onto a little tray like this. You have to have individual cedar dividers because if you were to put the cigars right next to each other, they would lose the form and you get deformed shapes. This way, every single cigar has a uniform shape to it when it's pressed. Then the tray goes into these master presses. They're pressed there for 4 days. Then the cigars turn pressed for another 4 days, after which time it goes into this master carton. And it goes into the aging room for 4, 6, sometimes 8 months if they're Maduros. If you've never tried a box press cigar, try it. They're tough to make, but I promise you, they'll deliver. The cigars have now been sorted by color, and they're specifically selected for packing. So at this workstation, each single cigar is taken by hand and the band individually applied. It's meticulous work, takes a lot of time to pack these cigars. When we put all the cigars together, gorgeous, uniform, each one is even, color is perfect. Wow, they look delicious. Over here, once the cigar have been banded, they're re-examined one at a time to make sure and ensure they're absolutely perfect before the cellophane is applied to them. The cellophane will be put on each cigar individually. The cigars will be packed into a box. The cigars then go over to the next workstation where a supervisor will actually take the cigars back out of the boxes, re-inspect each cigar, and then, if they are perfect, put them back in the box and finally place her stamp of approval to guarantee that this box is finally ready for shipping. So my friends, here I am, all alone at the factory. So many people have worked so hard and spent so many hours to deliver a great quality cigar. You've seen the farming, the curing, the fermentation, the sorting, and finally the production and the packaging of cigars. Labor intensive, lots of passion. You know, the art form of cigar making is something that is unique in this world. So here, today, my journey ends and yours begins. I promise you, nobody works harder to make you a great quality cigar than we do. So from our family to yours, enjoy.